Okay, hopefully everything's going well with blue skies and the workout that it is. I'm gonna talk about something today that is more of a mental workout, but still gotta play too. I'm gonna use the song Hallelujah as a springboard for this discussion. As far as a play along, I wrote down at the bottom, there's a version by Rufus Wainwright, Hallelujah, live at the Fillmore. He plays on piano, and I thought that would be a good one to practice along with. So use that as a play along because, then you'll have piano and guitar, and you won't be running into another guitar player. Okay, so the song itself isn't that complicated. It's in 6/8, so it's basically counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. And we've talked about before very often when songs are like in a 6/8 or one of those feels like that. It actually feels more like 1, 2. So in other words, if we're playing the C chord, which is the first chord, and we're playing an arpeggio up and down, I'm kind of playing my starting arpeggio on the inner 4 strings. I'm not using the low E or the high E, so I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that works out nicely because it takes you right back to the beginning again, to that C note when you get back to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. And the same for the A minor, just going to the A minor here and then staying on the same inner 4. So when we're playing that intro, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. But as we've said in the past, you can use that 6 count to keep yourself on track, but it feels more like 1, 2. It feels more like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. That's more the way the song feels. It's more of a relaxed feel when you count it in 2, but sometimes counting it in 6 helps you to keep better track of where you are. Whatever works for you, either way. And then what I did is I wrote some keywords so you would know where you are in the song. I'm assuming it's a song you're familiar with. So looking at the second line, I'm on the inner 4 again. Then we come to the F chord. Now you kind of have your choice there. You could just play a simple F like this, which is, your bar chord F, but only this much of it, right? Or you could go down and drop and play the full bar. Now keep in mind when you're playing the arpeggios, I'm going to go back to the beginning now, even though I'm playing on the inner 4, you could start on this C, you could skip the D string and then play the upper 3. Right? You still have the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's really not critical that you play adjacent strings. Same thing when you get to that F chord, you could play the 4 bottom strings, or you could play the low F, skip the A string, and play the next 3. It really doesn't matter, because they're all chord tones and they're all going to sound fine. So we get the F chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We come to the G. You could go just to a first position G, or you could take the F and bring it up to a G, and then slide the ring finger back down to the C, to the G. I guess the point I'm trying to make is, you can really use any form of the chord that you're comfortable with, and you're probably aware of that. Getting to the fourth line, that's the only line that is a little bit different, where we have a quicker chord change. We have the C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then where he says the lyrics are 4th, 5th, the chord changes. So we only have 3 eighth notes on the F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So starting on that fourth line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then to the A minor. And then after that, everything is 6 beats again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We come to the F. Once again, you could play upper F, lower G, E minor, A minor, and then what I did on that second measure of A minor there in the 5th line is I just did a strum, because there's kind of a break there before he comes into the Hallelujah chorus part. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the beginning and play it from the start. And this is, once again, we're getting familiar with the tune, and we're going to work into an arrangement, a solo arrangement of the tune, once we get familiar with the chord changes and how it all works. Plus, there's going to be a little bit more going on as to where we are going to play the arrangement. That'll all be revealed in lessons to come. So going back to the beginning, I'll count off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, F, G, A minor, F, G, E minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. And then it comes into the chorus, which is the F, and once again, play a small F if you want, play a full bar F. You could even play this inner F, which kind of has no bars in it. It's taking the F bar chord and just playing the inner 4 strings. So we have 3, 3, 2, 1 on the inner 4, and then you don't have any bar at all. I actually use that a lot because I don't really like barring. The thing there is it's an inversion because you're starting with a C note. You're not starting with the root F note, but it still works. To the A minor, back to the F, C, G, C, and then a turnaround. He plays that G chord as a turnaround and goes back to the beginning from there. Okay? So let me go ahead and give you a play along from the beginning. As I said, it'd be good to play along with the video. Hopefully you've worked out a good system for doing that, and I hope you are doing that because it's really beneficial to play along with somebody else. especially in this case, it's a piano, so it's a very common situation that you would find in a performance where you'd have piano, guitar, and that sort of thing. So here we go from the top. I'll play it twice through. I'll play down to the bottom where the G chord is, and then I'll go back to the beginning and play it again. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now I played the G. If you're going to go and do another verse, that's what you would do. I find it easier because, when you're playing the arpeggios, it's pretty demanding. You don't have a lot of time. You have, fractions of a second in between each of these notes. So when I'm going to the F chord, if I'm choosing to play an F chord with a low F in it, I'm actually just dropping my thumb. I find that easier. Nothing wrong with going to the standard bar, but you can use your thumb there. So that, once again, those kind of things will be up to you, whatever you find easier. Now you'll notice down at the bottom I also wrote G equals F sharp. And the reason I put that there is we're going to talk about playing this song using a capo, but in the same key. But if we're going to do that, we need to be familiar with the accidentals that are in each key. In the key of G, F is sharp. Okay? So what that means is if you're changing the chords on this page, if you're going to make your starting chord G instead of C, that's fine. You would say to yourself C, D, E, F, G. Okay? C, D, E, F, G. And G is natural. It's not sharp or flat. It's the key of G. So you get to the G. If we go to the A minor, we have A, B, C, D, E. So the A minor becomes E minor. So you can see that relationship is that fifth. From C to G is 5, from A to E is 5. Okay? So the reason I tell you that F is sharp is because if you get to anything that is F, when you're looking at the chords, you'd have to make it an F sharp. Okay? Now, I don't know that we're going to come to anything that is an F in changing these chords from C to G. I don't think we do. But you want to be aware of that nonetheless. You want to be aware of that concept. Okay? If you're going to go and play it using the A chord, in the key of A, there's 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So if you're going to make your starting chord A, in order to get from C to A, we go C, D, E, F, G, A, 6. We have to go 6 to get from C to A. Well, what happens when we change the A minor? It goes A, B, C, D, E, F. There's an F. In the key of A, F is sharp. So if you're changing that first chord to A, then that second chord has to be F sharp minor. See my point? Okay? That's why when you're changing these chords, when you're transposing to other keys, it's important that you know what's sharp and flat in that key, because if you confront that in the process of changing the chords, you have to apply it. Once again, in the key of G, F is sharp. So if your starting chord is G, you have to figure that relationship from C. So it's simply use your fingers, C, D, E, F, G. It's 5. So from C to G is a 5th. And that means you would do that for every chord. From C to G is 5, from A, and then from F you would go up 5, F, G, A, B, C, and from G you'd go up 5, G, A, B, C, D, so on and so forth. Okay? So, like I said, I don't think we come to anything that's an F when we change it to the key of G. So you probably don't have to worry about it. But as we saw, if we're going to change it to the key of A, you are going to at least come across an F sharp, and you may come across more. I haven't gone through the entire thing yet. You don't necessarily have to do that now, but I'm just kind of letting you know why that information is down there. Okay? And if I didn't explain that clearly, don't worry about it, because in the next video, I'm going to get more into that. But if you want to look into changing these chords to those different keys, feel free, go ahead and even mess around with trying to play the song in those different keys. But it's going to have a deeper application than what just appears on the surface. So I'm not going to say any more because it'll probably get confusing. But for starters, get so that you can play the song effectively in the key of C. Get so that you can play along with Rufus Wainwright. To me, that's almost a bit of a tongue twister. Rufus Wainwright. I want to say Rufus Rainwright, right? Put a R where the W is. But that's just me. Okay, so if you have any questions, you know to ask. I don't think there'll be any. And as I said, don't let the key change stuff down there throw you. I'm going to talk about that more next time. But if you do comprehend what I was saying, like I said, feel free to go ahead and make those changes. And, you know, practice doing that if you need a little bit more to work on. I doubt you do, but if you do, that is something that's good to work on, understanding how those things work. Okay, enough said. We'll leave it at that for now.